Thank you everyone for joining us today for another useful noon hour. I'm really happy to have with me two beautiful ladies from Saint John Energy. They accepted my invitation. It was so kind of them. I have Michelle Ramiar. She is the customer service representative at Saint John Energy. And Chloe Murphy, she is the communications specialist at Saint John Energy. Thank you so much, ladies, for being here with me today.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having us.
Of course, it's a great issue. It's a great topic, especially the timing now. It's not too cold yet. It is actually a warmer winter than usual, but it is going to get colder, and people actually are already concerned about their power bill. Like we are at the Saint John Newcomers Centre, we try to help and support the newcomers in our city by giving them always like the right information and advice and tips. So that's why I'm really glad you're here today to talk about energy and how to save in your power bill and all these, you know, it's a totally different world. So I'm really grateful that you're here, and I have some questions from clients already that we can go through it as you do your presentation. Can you let us know what's new with Saint John Energy? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll do
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Okay.
So we've had actually quite a busy time at Saint John Energy recently. We have a few new products and services for our customers on our customer portal. We recently launched the Home Heat Saver in November, and it's really cool. It's a program that we teamed up with a company called MyHeat in Calgary, and they did an aerial flyover of Saint John and took a heat map of all of the rooftops of Saint John so that our customers can see where they lose heat in their homes. So customers can log into the Saint John Energy customer portal and can look up to see their heat map, and they can see their rooftop and see where their home is losing heat. They're also given a heat loss score, which then will give customers recommendations on what they can do to improve the heat loss in their house and make their homes more energy efficient to save money. So that's something that we recently launched in November, and it's going to be available until March. So it's,
Great.
Yeah.
Well, so what do you mean by like this company is going to do a heat map? So is it like as a customer, I call Saint John Energy and I book an appointment to come and check my home to see where I'm losing heat?
Actually, all you have to do is go onto the Saint John Energy portal, and if your home, so it's available to certain homes in Saint John, and it has to be a single house. It's not available for apartment blocks, unfortunately, but it's you can log into the portal and it'll have the heat loss map in your profile, so you can go on and see it from the customer portal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no need to, yeah.
That's so cool. I can't imagine or picture how that works, but I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah, you should, Lena. It's fantastic. It's really cool.
I'm terrified to do it. I'm going to find the whole house is just losing energy. Sometimes not knowing is just the best. I'm just kidding. No, it is definitely, that's actually awesome. Is it ever going to be available for units, like apartments?
Unfortunately not. It's just the way multi-units are built. I think that it's just not possible to be able to give those recommendations. Yeah, it's a shame because I live in an apartment block and I would love to see where the house loses energy, but it's unfortunately not available.
No, yeah. Have you used it, Michelle?
I have, and I scored actually very well, but I do
Oh,
have a new, well, it's 16 years old, but it's a newer home. So it's well insulated and everything. So it is very cool to see your number. And as well, if you have customers that aren't sure how the portal works, your username is your email. And then you just have to create a password, and it's going to ask you a security question like, what was the amount on your last bill? Now, if you want to bypass that, feel free to call any CSR, myself. We send customers a direct link so they can sign into the portal themselves, and then they can view all their bills. The portal is it's a newer feature from Saint John Energy, and it's really nice that you can view your bills. You can have online billing if you want to just receive an email saying your bill is ready to view. If you wanted to say, like myself, who's been there 16 years, I want to compare every December, I can click a button and say, give me every December bill that I've had, just to compare to see where, well, most of the times it's weather related. Obviously, we can't control if it's super cold, it's going to be a higher bill, but it is nice to compare your bills. So it does a lot of neat things, and it's just a question of exploring. And once you do sign in, there's also a guided tour that kind of takes you around. So if you want to do that as well, it's pretty interesting. So I'd advise customers to check it out.
Is there a way, like for Saint John Energy, like to spread the word more, like for people to use it so they will be energy efficient?
It's all over our website, and it's just it's the portal, and
it's
like
free.
I said, it's free. Yeah, so you might as well use it.
I am going to use it, actually. I didn't know it existed. I thought there is some kind of service that I book someone to come to my home and check it out. I don't know if you do that, or is it just...
We do. We have an energy advisor. His name is Dave, and he normally goes to people's homes and would kind of go over things with them, saying, okay, well, if you maybe changed your window or the door or that sort of deal. With COVID now, I think he's doing most of the one-on-ones over the phone, but there is a program through NB Power actually advertises it on their website. It's a home energy saving program where the customer, and they will help Saint John Energy customers. So if I called them up and said, can you come to my house? They will send a girl, a guy over to do an audit on my home. I do have to pay $99 for them to come over and do that. But if they said, well, you know what, if you got a heat pump, I could get a reimbursement from them for $400. There's money, like there's grant money to be had. So sometimes it's thinking of getting a heat pump, we'll go pay the $100, but then they'll get a check for $400 after they get a heat pump installed. So
it has to be from this specific company?
Yeah, and it's found through NB Power. And like I said, they'll help Saint John Energy customers. So it doesn't matter, or if you have clients that are just, in Quispamsis or outside of Saint John, they can call, and our customers, Saint John Energy customers, can call.
That's good to know.
It's a great program. And who knows how long it's going to last. So take advantage of this extra money that you can possibly get for home upgrades that you need to do.
Absolutely, yeah. So you don't know how long it's going to last. Chloe also mentioned something about March. So what is ending at March? Sorry, I must have...
So an airplane flew over all the houses in Saint John, and we got our score that way. That is ending. It was just kind of a trial program for 6 months.
Okay.
So that is going to stop. But you can go on the portal and see everything else. That's never going to stop.
Okay. Okay. And if people have like questions, or they're not sure where to go, like even for the heat pump, if that promotion, I was just going to say that, call you. Okay.
Yes.
So maybe we'll share your email address. Do you prefer your email address or phone number?
Or our phone number is 658-5252. We're all working from home, but there's many CSRs, and we will help you or direct you to the right person.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, because I might call you, Michelle.
You call me.
Okay. So speaking of this new program that Saint John Energy have. I think it's I'm excited about it. Is there anything else, or is there any also, like I have clients also, they ask about any rebates. Do you know if there is any rebates around that we're not aware of? There is?
The
Okay.
only one that I know of that's happening right now, it's you have to make $30,000 or less a year. If you qualify, then you can get the form online. It's through Service New Brunswick. And what they'll do is you fill it out, you send them a copy of a bill, so any bill dated November 2020 to now. If you qualify, and I think they check through your taxes and whatever they do, you get $100. Now that $100 is not sent directly to our office, it's sent directly to your home, and you should put it on your hydro bill, or, I mean, I guess you can do what you want with it, but it's sent directly to you. It's meant for your hydro bill.
Oh, that's great. Okay,
Yeah.
so folks, if you have an income less than $30,000, there is a small rebate that helps. Every little penny counts. That's great. That's good to know. Is it the same as the senior one, or is there something specific for seniors?
It's mostly senior citizens that apply, because like my mom's a single lady now and she gets it every year. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. And I just wanted to ask about the energy efficient. Like when we say energy efficient, people say I want to make my home energy efficient, or I build a home energy efficient, and that terminology. What does that mean? Like I already have a home, it's an older home. How do I make it energy efficient? What does it mean?
Well, it could be little things like, just changing the light bulbs to the energy efficient ones.
Okay.
When, like my dishwasher, washing machine, dryer, they were all 16 years old, but during COVID, my dishwasher died and I had to replace it. Well, now it's a lot more efficient than my 16-year-old one was, just because they're Energy Star products, and they don't last as long.
So there is a difference in the appliances.
But there is a difference. Yeah, there's different things you can do. I mean, there's obviously big things like windows and doors, heat pumps, fixing that sort of thing. But I mean, there's little things you can do that don't cost so much either. If you need to cover up your windows with plastic wrap, there's different things. So it all depends.
During the winter, you mean?
During the winter, obviously, yeah.
That's interesting. Like there is some kind of a tape I see in stores that you can.
And you just use your hair dryer, and I mean, I don't need it in my home, but I mean, there's a lot of homes that there's vents and the air is going through. So it is a necessary thing to do. I'm going to be changing out my door. I know I feel a crack coming through, so that's what I'm going to plan on doing this summer.
That's great.
Michelle, you're right. Like I live in quite an old flat, and like some of the glass is like, it's just one pane. So like to be able to put an insulation kit over the window really would help, I think, keep it a bit more.
So do you usually do that, Chloe? Do you put like a wrap or a tape around it?
I haven't so far, because the windows are actually quite tall, so it's quite. But I think it would be.
That's really beautiful, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it does play a factor sometimes if people are paying for their power bill or they're not. It plays a huge factor. But we all have to, think of better ways. I was going to ask, like, I have another question from a client, how to save in my power bill. I guess that's what it is that you just answered. Is there a time of the day best to use these big appliances? Like, the old saying to use it late at night. I don't know. Is this really true, or is it a myth, or Clear the air.
Yeah, it's true and false.
Okay.
For Saint John, it's false. We buy our power from NB Power. There's no time of day special. I believe, like, there are some places in Canada, I know Ottawa Power, yes, if you decide to do your washing your clothes at 2 in the morning, it's discounted time, you know, but we don't have that here in Saint John. Since I've been working with Saint John Energy 15 years, there's always been talk about doing that, but it has not, nothing has happened yet, but it is probably something they are looking at because people are interested in that.
Okay. And operating these appliances, small appliances, even the heat pump, like the idea of turning on and off, like, is that a good idea or not? Some people, they say, sorry, it uses more energy if, like, let's say I turn off my heat pump, then an hour later I turn it back on again. Is this really true? Should I just keep it running and low? I
personally wouldn't do that. I would set it and forget it. With a heat pump especially, there is probably every hour there's maybe a 3-minute cooling down cycle that it just cleans the filters and does a cleanup that goes outside. So that is needed. So if you turn off the equipment, it's not going to work as well. So I would just keep it at a set temperature that you're comfortable with and just keep it that way.
Okay.
We're better off at, I guess, disconnecting your toaster, your kettle, you know, your microwave. If you wanted to save some money doing it that way, just
is it really worth it?
Pardon?
Is it really worth it to
unplug? I
unplug?
personally do not do that. There are people that do. For the amount that it saves, it's pennies. It's not a huge amount. I would rather personally, I hang up all my clothes. So right now in my basement, under my heat pump, because I do have a heat pump, I have a rack that I hang my—
That's a good idea.
Yeah, or my towels are on there right now. So of course, when I dry myself, I'm more exfoliating because my towels are a little rough, but I'm saving the $1 from using the dryer, and my heat pump's running anyway. So I might as well use the heat to dry my towels, and I'm saving $1. So I've incorporated my son and my husband. We all use it now. Like, there's no, that's what we do.
Like a habit.
Yeah.
And how about devices like computers, TVs? Is it really worth it for people to unplug and plug back? And again,
I personally wouldn't.
Okay.
But I'll tell you
it's
something.
Annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying. I will tell you, I noticed on my bill, and I was saying this to my coworker Chloe, my bill went down from last December or January. It went down like $30. And I was trying to think of what have I done different? Maybe it's milder outside. That could be a possibility. But for Christmas, we got, or a little bit before Christmas, we got an air fryer. Everybody's getting an air fryer. I got an air fryer. Now my son, when he goes to school and comes back home, he wants a poutine, or he wants French fries, or he wants something. So he does it in the air fryer, which takes 5 minutes to air fry. Where before I was turning on my oven, letting it heat for 20 minutes, putting them in there for 20 minutes. So now I'm using less watts, and it's a quarter of the time. So I think it's my air fryer.
Interesting. I got an air fryer this year. I love it, actually. I was not convinced, but I love it.
I do too.
Hooked. I didn't realize, like, even, using the oven, yeah, it's common sense, I guess. Using the oven really consumes lots of
it does
power. Even conventional oven, they still do, right?
Yeah,
they still do. Yeah. And you're better off, like, say you're going to make yourself a cup of tea or a coffee, like, if you want, like, heat your water in a kettle plugged in is cheaper than turning on, the kettles that people put on the stove.
Okay. So the
like, my
kettle
mom has an older one on the stove. She just makes she thinks the tea is better on the stove, but it is cheaper.
Tastes
if
different.
You're looking, but if you're looking for cost-wise saving, it's cheaper in the kettle.
Oh, that's good to know, because that's
Yeah.
that's what I use.
Or if you're gonna boil some eggs, boil your water first in the kettle, then pour it in the pot and then on the stove.
Oh, I always do it the old-fashioned way.
You know, I think, Lena, a lot of people do the old-fashioned way because you can count 3 minutes.
Yeah, right? Like that's what that's how it has to be.
Yeah,
Otherwise, the eggs are not gonna come out right. I'm gonna try that. I like it. And then they don't maybe come too hard. I don't like them too hard.
Yeah, or anything.
Yeah.
You're preparing pasta, you know, boil the water and then pour it in on the stove and then put your pasta in while it's it boils faster and it's done. And you're saving a few pennies.
Even the pasta.
Anything that you need.
Okay.
Give it a try.
I will definitely give it. It's even easier because Lena does not have a habit at all of forgetting anything on the stove at all. So so having, you know, pouring the hot water, boiling water from the kettle, you know, I think Lena should do that. At least for me. I'll definitely give it a shot. Do you do that as well, Chloe?
Yeah, I do that. But I must say, for eggs, I always put them in cold water. I don't know why. I think it's a time thing. But I was going to say that, like, even if you're heating something up as well, if you can heat things up in the microwave rather than using the stove or the oven, that helps a lot as well. Like,
That's a good point. Yeah.
I do a lot of baking, and sometimes instead of, you know, the way if you're baking and you're melting chocolate, a lot of people put water on the stove and the chocolate in a bowl. I've started like putting it in the microwave and it works really well.
Really? In the microwave?
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. You should definitely try that, and you save energy. Should like yeah, like the unplug and all that. Someone asked, I can't replace my windows, what can I do? And I guess you answered that, Michelle, with
the plastic wrap, yeah.
Plastic wrap
and they're
all.
Not expensive. I think they're about $10 at Canadian Tire or any of those type of stores. Yeah, I mean, you'll have to buy some every year, but I mean, it's not a big cost.
Yeah. Okay. And I don't know, the question for either one of you, the heat source. This is like the $1 million question. Sometimes I feel people are in an electric source, oil, gas. What do you guys think? And some people, they actually like to change, they prefer to change to electric because it's cheaper, but then the electricity goes way up. No, it's better to change to gas because it's cheaper, but then the gas went up. You know, and the oil, sorry, not the gas, the oil, and the oil went up. And you keep, you know, there is always like these power sources that change and fluctuate with the prices. Do you think everyone should just be happy with whatever they have and just be content, or is there really a source that it's more efficient, it is cheaper, it's more environmental friendly?
Well, I personally think the heat pump is the way to go, especially with the weather in New Brunswick. I mean, it's ideal for heat pumps. I personally have electricity, but at my parents' house, it was always the wood stove and then electricity if we really needed it. But that was a lot of work. It's, you know, bringing in the wood. And my mom, who's elderly now, still living in the house, she can't do it. So sometimes you have to switch just because it doesn't work anymore. I do get a lot of calls of people that have the oil tanks and it doesn't pass I guess those only last so many years, and then the tank needs to be replaced, and that's a big investment as well. So sometimes they cross over and say, well, you know what, I think I'm just going to switch my house all to electric. I think it's cleaner and more efficient electricity But someone who loves their pellet stove or their wood stove would say, you know, no, I love the feel of a wood stove. So I guess it's personal choice, but my number one is the heat pump. My electricity is pretty much turned off. It's the heat pump I use as my number one source. So I know I'm doing the best I can in my home to keep it warm and cozy.
And how about you, Chloe? What do you think when it comes to heat sources?
I totally agree with Michelle. I think that electricity is the way to go. I think there's a lot of older houses in Saint John, so a lot of people use oil and things like that. But I really do think that that's quite expensive too. So
it is getting more expensive. At some point, people wanted to do oil because it was cheaper, but then it went up. And gas, lots of people wanted to have their gas pumps. I don't know. I think we have something in our area, but I'm not sure. But that's always like, it's always in people's mind, especially when they buy a home.
Definitely. But I think, you know, what Michelle said, like with the heat pumps, I think heat pumps are a really effective way of heating the house. But I think, again, you know, it is personal choice, and it also is based on the type of house that you're living in as well. Yeah, like where I'm living, I rent at the moment, and the heat is actually controlled by our landlord. So we don't have too much of a say with how the home is heated, but I know that I think someday that they are considering getting a heat pump in, which would be really nice because it would mean that we could control the heat as well inside the house.
Interesting. Yeah, and I know lots of landlords, yeah, that's what they're thinking to do, because they don't want to pay for the power bill, because sometimes, unfortunately, people like put the heat up and they open the window. But at the same time, you know, like we have to save the energy, and landlords don't want that. And I know the heat pumps has, you know, they can, it's this easiest alternative for people, and it adds value, you know, as well.
It does.
Do you use it?
And the air conditioning in the summer is.
I was just going to ask you, Michelle, if you use it as an air conditioner as well in the summer. Do you use it?
I live in East Saint John, so usually the fog starts rolling in at 6 p.m. So I don't normally need the AC, but this year working from home this past summer, there was probably a week that I had it on while working because it was really hot, and that has been a godsend because it's nice to have the AC once in a while when you need it.
It was more than a week for me. I have to say, no, it was
and it didn't up my bill like I wanted to, you know, see, did it up my bill much using the air conditioning? Because everyone says the air conditioning is expensive, but it didn't. And it was, no, I'll have no fret about turning that on. It's
perfect. Yeah. No, that's great. Yes, Chloe.
You both are really lucky that you had such heat over the summer. It's funny because I find living uptown, it's cold. Well, it's not cold most of the time, but there's a lot of fog, and some days like you would think that it was like a decent heat. Other people like who were living like in the east side and like the north end, the west side, they were saying, oh, it's really, really, really hot today. And I'm thinking, I didn't feel that heat today.
Okay, Chloe, in the summer, I invite you to come and work from our office. We are uptown, but our office is very well known all over the city. Everyone knows. I'm sorry, I'm changing the subject, but just for the humor of it. Any guest who comes and visits us, they always say like, wow, that's a sauna. I'm like, yeah, guys, I don't know why you're complaining. You're getting a free sauna. I don't know why you're complaining. We should charge you for visiting us in the summer. It's really hot. Even in the winter with the heat, it's hot. But in the summer, it's really, really hot. We have newcomers who come from hot areas, you know, in the world. And when they come here, they say it's hot. So if they say it's hot, trust me, it is really hot. So I invite you, Chloe, to come and enjoy the heat. We will put you in the other room. It's like the room that everyone avoids. It's really, 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 really hot. You can just, that's going to be closed room. You're welcome to come anytime. See, I offered you an invitation in public.
You know, I must say, I think I went to visit Valentine over the summer in the offices, and it was like a sauna. Like,
It's fun. Yeah.
all you need is an ice bucket. You could.
No, it's, yeah, people don't understand. And when I say it's hot, like, it's not really hot. You don't understand until you come and give us a visit in the summer, and then we'll talk. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. No, but we always love to have you, both of you. I remember you came also last year, but it was in the winter and it was hot. But that was because of the heat. It was, remember, like, it was hot. It just, we have no control over the heat. So once it's on, it's really, really hot. So yeah, we don't win. I don't know, maybe we just, Lena loves to complain. No, I'm just kidding. But it is an older building. That's why, like Michelle mentioned. I have another question as well. Like, it's always, you know, in people's like even lifestyle, which is the dishwasher. Does it really consume lots of energy? Is it really just better to just do the dishes yourself?
Well, personally, I need a dishwasher. And like I said, my story there, my dishwasher died during COVID, so I had to replace that. Not that we're a big family, but we're 3 of us, and dishes accumulated. So I do love my dishwasher. The amount of water that hot water that it uses is really minimal, and they even say, like, if you were washing a lot of dishes for your family, rinsing them in the hot water, you're probably using more to hand wash. Now, if you were just 1 or 2, maybe I would say it might be worth it to hand wash. But if you were doing a family and you have a dishwasher, use the dishwasher. And it doesn't make a difference. Like, I called the company of the dishwasher as well, because I was having problems with setting it up. And I asked the gentleman, I said, should I put it on express, 60-minute express? I'm going to be saving energy. And I told him, I said, I work for Saint John Energy and I want to save money. And he said, no, he said, even if you put the 2 hours, the regular cycle, he said, run it that way, because he said it doesn't use any less or any more water.
Interesting.
And he said, use the whole cycle so that it, you know, it cleans it really properly. So I said, okay, I'm using that tip. Now my dishwasher runs probably every 2 days, and I do the 2 hour cycle.
And do you think it uses lots of power though, electricity?
I don't think so. And I think they're only getting, like I said, they get better. I mean, they get better, they die faster, but the energy, the star factor on them is a lot better. So it only uses a handful of water, and it's just doing the job. I think it's worth it. I wouldn't that's not a product I'd get rid of.
Yeah.
You're so lucky you have a dishwasher, Michelle.
Yeah, I guess, Chloe, yeah, most of apartments here in Saint John, they don't have a dishwasher. When we lived in an apartment, we didn't have a dishwasher. But yeah, but it's you and your husband, so it's not like you have lots of dishes to do.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. Like Michelle said, it depends on the size of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not bad at all. Just the 2 of us.
We are 6 at the house, so I love my dishwasher. I cannot let it. I
There's
feel
other
like
things I would get rid of before the dishwasher.
I was just thinking, Michelle, if you of the dishwasher giving up in COVID, that would be such a big. I mean, during COVID as well, like in the middle of.
Yeah.
What are we doing dishes?
I know. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we didn't need that. Yeah, no, definitely. But at the same time, like I notice now with COVID, lots of people are home and kind of either working from home, or I don't want to use stuck home, but they're just home, spending more time than they usually do. they do lots of renovation, and they're really interested in doing all these updates and all that. So maybe the first step then you advise people to do is to go to your website and use that platform, is it like
the portal?
Yeah, the portal, yeah.
The portal, and then
Yeah.
sign up under NB Power, their home energy saving program. See if you can get a rebate for doing any kind of work first. I mean, there might be money. I haven't really investigated myself, but my home being 16 years, I will have to replace the roof here soon. So I might give them a call and say, you know, what's the rebate on a roof and a door?
So who would you call?
It's through the home savings program that's under the NB Power that they will do Saint John Energy customers, where I pay the $100 and they will the rebate money. So that's definitely, if I was doing renos, that's the first thing. And you can call us at Saint John Energy. We'll direct you. We'll give you the phone number, you know, for all those things. And that might be something that I would do if I was doing renos. I mean, if there's any free money out there, you might as well.
Yeah, definitely. And just in case also there are deadlines and things like that, you might want to know right away what is offered, what I can afford to do right away, what is worth it with the rebate, what is not worth it, can wait, things like that. Yeah. So maybe the best thing is when they give you a call, like maybe connect them with someone at NB Power to see if there is any rebates, and then if there is, then it's worth to investigate more and pay the $100, the $99, to have someone to help, to give you a better picture,
to advise you, and then they come over to your house and see that you did the work, and then they send you the check. So it's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you have a final advice or comment or anything you like to add from you know, someone from the communication world and someone from the customer service world at Saint John Energy?
Well, you can call us. You know, we'll answer any question. We'll direct you to the right person. And we're all pretty helpful. We've all been there for many years. There's not too many, you know, real young people, not young people, but people that haven't had a lot of experience in customer service. Everyone is pretty much, you know, 20 years is kind of the average. So give us a call. We're full of ideals and tips, and don't be shy, and we'll just discuss it with you. And I would just say, set your thermostat, set it and forget it. Don't be turning lights on and off every minute, but turn off your lights if you're not using them. And get an air fryer. They're really great.
I agree. I have to agree. And speaking of thermostats, do you recommend like people use the sensors, or there is also
it's digital?
The digital ones as well.
Programmable. I had that before I had my heat pump, so mine are still programmable, where I would set it, you know, back in the old day when I used to go to the office, turn it down a little bit while nobody was home, and then say at 4:30, turn up a little bit so that it's not too cold, or have it set like in my bathroom. So when we go to take a shower in the morning, it's not super cold. So we kind of heat it up a little bit more. So that was great. And that was easy to do. And if you watch for that, there's usually rebates a couple times a year that you can go to any hardware store, Costco, where they give like say $10 rebate if you, and it's, I know it's in November, and then there's a spring one too, and they usually come out, and it's well advertised that there's rebates on thermostats, on the plugs that are energy efficient, and Star products that are the lights. There's always sales on. So when they have
these kind of rebates, they are from the store itself.
They're from the store directly. So you're saving buying the product, and then you're saving using it at home on your hydro. Of course. Yeah.
Of course. And the plugs as well. There is
they have the smart plugs. I'm just kind of looking at what I have plugged here. One of these kind of doohickey things where they're energy, like you don't use them all the time, and they kind of, but they go on sale too on these rebates.
So what's the difference between this and the other one, the regular ones?
Well, mine will only turn specific things on. So if I have one light on, it will kind of turn some things off that I don't need. So yeah, it's like a smart.
I never seen these before.
It's called a smart. I'm trying to think of the name.
Do you have them as well, Chloe?
No, we don't have any of those ones, but we have like one that it can go on a timer. So like it'll switch on and off at certain times of the day. It's quite useful actually if you want something to come on at a certain time. It can go on and off.
Okay, and it is a plug, just like the one Michelle is holding. Okay.
Mine is called a smart strip, and there's a ground and a surge. So it kind of protects your equipment if there was a, you know, an outage, so that your TVs and things like that don't.
I'm going to be looking for these.
Yeah,
these go on sale all the time, and yeah, no, they're great. So I've got a few of them around the house.
Michelle, that sounds really useful because especially like in old houses like this one, there's actually very limited plug sockets. Like in our living room, we have one, I think, and like we've had to plug in like a multi-plug to be able to plug in a few different things. But like to have that surge thing to protect the energy.
It's a great idea, yeah. And no wonder you're saving money on your power bill, Michelle.
I will do everything. I tell you, I try to save money. That's, you know, I'd rather splurge on food or on something else, but electricity, I try to save as much as I can.
Yeah, no, that's
open
great.
Right now, you will notice that my blinds are closed, but it's a beautiful day today. So open them up and get the sunlight in your home and heat up your house free.
Yes. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. And they were open actually when we started, just before we start recording, and I noticed you closed.
The mood. It was too light.
Yeah,
so
because of the camera. Yeah. No. Absolutely. And Chloe, do you have a last word or any advice or any comments you want to add toward the end of our conversation?
I just wanted to thank you for having us, Lena. It's been fantastic. It's been really, really nice you inviting us back for another session.
Absolutely. I always learn from you guys every single time. Even last time, I remember I was so shocked about a few things as well. So I lived here for almost 30 years and I'm still learning.
That's great.
There is nothing wrong with that.
A lot of things today as well. So
yeah. Perfect. And if you guys have any questions or something we didn't even talk about, you say, I wish she asked about this or that, call Michelle, 658-5252, right?
Correct. Right.
Perfect.
And hopefully we'll be able to do this in your sauna office again, because we did really enjoy that last time with all the people and asking the questions. And
okay, Michelle, you're going to regret it. I'm going to make sure to invite you in the summer.
Yes. After this whole pandemic is over.
After, of course, yes, absolutely. No fans, no nothing. If I'm gonna have a fan, I'm gonna direct the fan on me. and Chloe.
Make it a foggy day in Saint John so that at least we'll have like the mixture of the extreme heat.
No. Michelle wanna try our sauna office. I'm gonna give her a free sauna.
Yeah, well, menopausal too, so I don't know. It might not be a good idea. You can see I'm wearing a t-shirt. I'm always hot.
I joined the club. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies. It was absolutely perfect. I honestly learned a lot. And if you guys have any questions, if you want to email Michelle or Chloe, just ask me. I'll send you the email. If you want to call 658-5252, that's basically the customer service at Saint John Energy. They do amazing stuff, and that's why they're there to help us, the consumers, to be smarter and to make things easier for us and to save us money. So I really thank you so much, Chloe and Michelle, and have a wonderful day.
Perfect.
Thank
you.